Hey, how's it going, man?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm good, man. It's great to actually connect like this. Uh,
Yeah, I'm for sure glad we finally got a chance to connect and have a little chat.
yeah. I was telling people, I'm very fortunate to get a lot of support from all over the country. When it comes to my Instagram and my random posts that I post, I see stock footage liking every status that I put out. So clearly, whoever is behind that account, whether it's you or a fellow band member, I appreciate the support. Uh,
Yeah, that is, and I'm definitely happy to support anybody who's out there creating stuff. I think that's why we joined Instagram, and what we should be using it for is to learn about other people's projects and support what they're doing.
yeah, and I got a chance to hear this record that y'all have done, which was released this past July. Such
Hmm.
a incredible record, definitely worth listening to. I definitely want to get into it. The name of the record is called Broken Together by Stock Footage. It is out on all digital music platforms. And go check them out on Spotify, Bandcamp, whatever is your preference. It's out there. And definitely buy their music on Bandcamp. Because Bandcamp, as I've said on social media, they have supported independent artists the most since this pandemic. So uh, they got my support the most by default because of that. And before I go any further, how's everything with yourself and the band since this whole pandemic has begun? How's everything with y'all health wise and everything?
Um, Everything's going all right health wise. So actually, the drummer in the band is one of my roommates. So for a couple months, we were just kind of chilling out in our apartment, not going out much. Luckily, haven't gotten sick yet. So trying to stay safe, stay healthy. Things all in all, with the record coming out, we were hoping to play a lot of shows, and obviously that didn't happen. But all things considered, we're just thankful to still be healthy with everything going on.
That is true. One thing about this pandemic is that it's just ruined so much for so many artists, especially independent artists, that just do countless of shows every week, or got me out and want to really put it out there for the public to see. And places have closed here and there, and while some places are starting to reopen, um, it's still an uphill battle for independent artists. So whenever you are able to, please support your local artists. Buy this merchandise, buy the music, or even if you're not able to, spread the word, um, and just let people know that hey, there's music out there other than mainstream. Just give them a listen. You might actually like what you hear. So just give them a listen. And such an incredible band, great chemistry, awesome music. How did the band got together? How did it came? How did y'all end up being stock footage?
Yeah, so I've had quite a journey with stock footage. So in the band, I'm kind of the front person for it. I play guitar and sing and write the songs. And I'm currently in Brooklyn, but I started when I lived in Chicago. And the first person I recruited was a friend of mine, Tom Pilcher, who we've been playing in bands literally since we were in middle school. And so I got him to play drums with me. Kind of the start of the band was I had these songs that I'd been writing on my own, and I asked him to help me out. And we had found a few other people, and the band, we went through a few different formulations. And after about 3 years of living in Chicago, I moved out, which is where I'm currently at. And originally, I kind of wanted to retire the stock footage name because Tom was such a big part of what I thought our sound was, and he really influenced the direction I took my songwriting. So I kind of wanted to start over fresh at first, but after like a year of auditioning for other bands, the thing that I kept on running into was kind of using a couple of songs and a couple of ideas that we never quite finished and trying to carry them over. So eventually what I decided to do with Tom's blessing was to continue on with the stock footage name and also the sound that we had built up. So that's kind of our story. It's just stock footage for me is me trying to write songs with whoever's kind enough to like my music and want to collaborate with me.
You know, some things just work out, you know, the way that, you know, the way that it, you know, it's just a lot happens in these decision makings, you know, coming up with a name or changing the name. But you know, apparently y'all stick with stock footage and y'all haven't looked back and y'all just sound great. Y'all sound incredible.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Broken Together is the name of the album for stock footage, out on all digital music platforms. Please give it a listen on all whatever your digital music platform preference is. Now, I am a Spotify addict. I'm not ashamed to say that whatsoever, but I will be on the Bandcamp. I'm becoming a Bandcamp addict too, not just because of the music, but because they've been doing with these Bandcamp Fridays. What they've done is just all the money that you spend on the music or merchandise, going all of it 100% going straight to the artists, to the musicians. And from what I've been reading, they are going to be doing that for the remainder of 2020. So every first Friday of the month, they are having Bandcamp Fridays. So if you're really feeling generous, go buy some merch of your favorite artists and go buy some stock footage. Get that music into your collection. Trust me, you'll like it. I know I'm gonna buy some stock footage for sure. So Broken Together, let's talk about this record, man. What was it like recording this, and what made y'all decide to name it Broken Together?
Well, Broken Together it's also the lead track on the album. And it was just one of those things. I think a lot of my writing process is just I kind of stumble on one idea and it's like, well, I'm never going to come up with a better title than that. Like Broken Together was pretty much before it was an album was the name of the album. I just feel like, oh yeah, why isn't that already? And it was also my favorite track, my favorite one to play. So it's like, yeah, I want to put this track front and center. So that's where the title came from. And then the writing was, I'm fortunate enough to have a little space in my apartment where we had band practice, and I thought, I've got the space to practice. I could probably use it to record. So I bought an audio interface. I bought a few microphones. So I recorded it pretty much all in my apartment, except for the drums. I met up with a guy online who records drums, and so I collaborated with him a bit to get the drum tracks. And the rest of it, I pretty much recorded in my apartment.
So, with the album cover, is a picture of a lamp. I believe that is a lamp, and there's a hand. And y'all doing some sort of hand sign. Is there any meaning behind this this album art, this album cover, with the lamp in the hand?
Well, I think the hand's supposed to be pulling the cord to turn off the lamp. And I didn't come up with the idea of it. Gabrielle DeRango is the artist who came up with the idea, and I have to admit I enlisted some family members on this. She's my cousin, and I want to give her a shout out because she knocked it out of the park. And I didn't give her any direction besides, make me something cool. And she came up with that image on my own, or on her own. I'm sorry. And when I saw it, I was just like, oh wow, this is much better than what I had anticipated, and I fell in love with it right away. And I think there is something that kind of goes with the theme of the music, with that image of a light, and the hand kind of on the chord, contemplating should it be on or off. And the album kind of fluctuates between, there's these really energetic, forward moving songs, and then there's some that are a little darker, a little more melancholy. So it's kind of captures the two moods of the band.
Definitely, that's awesome. You just basically just told her, like, you do what you want with it, and we just go with it, and that's the beauty. Give them all that freedom. Just, okay, I got something for you, and and it turned out real good. This is such an incredible record. You and Me, Broken Together. I think the title track has to be my favorite off this entire record. Just sounds incredible. Everything, just the chemistry with y'all, and so I'm glad that this album came out and people getting to hear it. And people talk about music help you through tough times, and we are truly in some tough times right now. So just put some stock footage in you and give them a listen. It's definitely worth it. So I don't think I've asked you this, but as far as musical influences, those artists that has inspired you or inspired the band. But I guess in your case, as an artist yourself, who are some of your influences, whether it's mainstream or independent? Who inspires you as an artist?
Yeah, I'm influenced by a lot of, I would say, indie or alternative rock throughout the years. One of the big influences on the album and what I was going for when I was mixing some of the tracks, especially the title track, was trying to capture the energy of the first couple Strokes albums. This Is It and Room on Fire. I just love that grungy, like really driving indie rock sound. I'm also a big fan of The National, and I love the way they, even though sometimes they get pigeonholed as this kind of like slow, melancholy band, they do have a lot of different moods that they go through, and every track on their albums is very distinct, especially on like Boxer, which was a thing that I tried to do, where each song to have its own distinct feeling. But some other bands, Pixies, Nirvana, Sonic Youth, Arcade Fire, LCD Sound System, definitely huge influences on my songwriting.
I love Nirvana. That's legendary stuff. Kurt Cobain, just the thought in his words, he's just, that's a gem. And
for sure.
He's done so much, paved the way for so many artists, and broken that he ain't with us after all these years. Just imagine how much of influence that he could be for the next group of bands. He done so much, and just that was a powerful time to be in the 80s, in the 90s. I born in the 80s. I used to really listen to music in the 90s, and then look back, and I just think 90s music, it was just incredible, and I feel sorry for people that missed out on the 90s, because that was some special stuff. that was out back then. That was an
Yeah, I one of the things that also influenced me was I'm a little bit younger than you. Um, so I grew up, I was a kid during the 90s, and one of the things that kind of opened up a lot of my musical influences was a band Could Be Your Life, which was about a lot of the indie bands in the 80s that really influenced Nirvana. And I think, pretty much any decade, but especially the 80s and the 90s, it's when you kind of start to have to look out of the mainstream to see the guys who are really doing cool stuff and doing things that are interesting musically.
So go check out stock footage. They got all the music on all the platforms. They're they on Bandcamp, stockfootage.bandcamp.com, and Broken Together is the name of their full-length album. Give it a listen, stream it, buy it, purchase it, and show your support. Support independent music. Support your local artists. It's so great to have you on behalf of the band. Thank you for the support. For the last, I think we've been on Instagram together for probably the last maybe several years now.
Yeah, it might have been a couple of years.
Yeah, a couple of years. It's like it started with just a random following. I followed me first, and then I followed back, and then almost every post that I put out, stock footage band is on there. It don't matter what it could be a music post, it could be some random, it could just be me in my house, just doing like a video message or whatever. Stock footage likes every single thing. I'm like, man, if I can get that same consistency for some of my local friends, that would be great. They need that stock footage energy, apparently. Yeah, so I'm gonna have a word with them for sure. It was great chatting with you, man. Thank you for your time. Thanks for your support.
Yeah.
And
thank you, Kenny. Appreciate it.
And again, congratulations on this album, Broken Together. I'll definitely will be buying it very, very soon. Until then, you continue to be safe. Tell the rest of the band I said hello. And hopefully when this pandemic ends, y'all come through to Kentucky and y'all and perform here. Be very happy to have you.
Yeah, we'd definitely love to come down.
All right, y'all be safe. We'll chat again soon.
Thanks, you too, Kenny.
All right, bye-bye.